Is it stalkers? I hear cars. Are they stalking? This car is pulling up right now. Is he stalking? Is they stalking? Your truck coming up. Is he gonna stalk? Got one light. He slowed down right before he drove up to the intersection, and then he drove, and he seemed like he was doing a stalker thing. It has a 33 on it. I think it's at the corner of that house. I think the white car hit his brakes right. I think the white car hits brakes right when that car straightens out on the street, and then it's turning at the same time that it's turning. They were stalking up with each other. The other day I was walking by a school. I can't remember. I think it's the one over there. I was walking by this school, and these kids were like screaming synced like they always do. But like this one girl like ran up to the fence and was just like looking directly at me and screaming synced. And then they were like following me along the fence. They just walked up to the sidewalk right now. These are always synced every time I see them. Does he got one tail light too? What else is gonna happen? No, he's got two tail lights. I think he was hitting his brakes when I walked by the house of the guy that walked up synced with his children. They like walked up to the sidewalk when I got across the street, and then they were walking up to the house when the car drove by me. The one that's always synced. But yeah, a lot of times when I walk by the schools, the children will just walk up to the fence next to me and they'll be like staring at me and doing sink things, like yelling synced. His car just hit his turn signal right when that car drove by me. He's meeting a white truck. Sync. They're all synced. They're all synced. Someone walking over here. It looks like they're synced. Is it synced? Is it synced? But yeah, and then like if I'm just nearby a school, like if the school is like up the street a few blocks from me, I'll hear children screaming synced like all the time. Just playing on the playground, but they're screaming synced. Like when I'm at work, like all the time I hear children screaming synced outside. I saw a synced cat yesterday at work. When I got back from a delivery, there's a cat running up, like right when I walk up to the building. This is like running up next to me in the parking lot. All these cars ahead of me look synced on the street driving in front of me. These are always synced. Is it synced again? It's almost at the corner of the building. Was it synced there? Or was it synced at this door? Or what? It's right at the edge of the door. I don't know. It's probably synced again. At one or both of those things or whatever. This looks synced. Is it synced? Looks synced. Was it? Is he gonna go through the roundabout right now? Yep. Right there. I don't see anybody at the park. I didn't know they had benches over here. Let's go sit on one of these benches. Are they comfortable? Let's see. This red truck is meeting this red truck at the intersection. Is it synced? What's this say? Free pen, guys. Come get a free pen. think this truck just drove out synced with the one lighter. Maybe. Is he synced? Is he gonna sink? Is he a sink head? Look synced. Oh, he's meeting a white truck at the intersection. Look synced. And then it's gonna meet this red car at this intersection. Just met a red truck at the other intersection, and it's meeting this red car at that intersection. And then it's meeting a white car at this intersection. Huh. That looks synced. Here's a tan car. Is it gonna sync? Here's a white truck. Looks synced. Here's this car again that's always synced. What does it say? Midtown Health Express or something? It's always synced. Here's a red car and a red car. Synced. Here's another red car and another red car. Sing. Oh, this whitey was over there when he was over there with the red truck. When did that car turn? Was it synced? Don't sync. Don't sync. Did you see that car flash? I think it was synced with that car driving out. It's turning on now. I see it. Is he gonna sync? There's a tail lift. Sync. Sync. His car's taking off as his car turns. As his car turned, it took off. It was synced. And then he's gonna drive out. And he's gonna do it right now with this, and it's gonna be synced. And it's a sync. And it's synced. And the whitey just turned right when he turned. Over there, he just turned at the same time that he turned, and then he's gonna meet this at the intersection synced. And they're both black and they're synced. And then he's meeting a silver with the black and it's synced. And then he's gonna sync with the sync and it's synced. Sync. A silver sync. And this red truck was over there at the same time. And then he's gonna sync with this. And then this. And this. And then they're gonna sync and sync. They're in sync. Insanely in sync. Justin Timber sync. This car just turned over there. I think it was maybe synced with these whiteys. But I don't know how they expect me to watch both of those things at the same time. If that's what happened. which might it's a high possibility that that's what happened because they're just that insane. It's a comfortable bench. I'd sit on it again. I give it 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's a pretty comfy bench, like for a hard bench. You know. I give it a good 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. I mean, what? Someone die on the slide? It's a scary slide. I don't want to go on that one. Oh, that's a good one. 1, 2, 3, counting me. That one's fire. I've read that like that many times. I've read it like that many times. I don't know how much that is. I can't count that high. Is it a stalker? Is it gonna be? Oh, there's a silver car and a black car over there. Are they stalking? Bet they're stalking. They'll just have a silver car and a black car in a row like that, or like a red car followed by a blue car. And especially when I'm on the highway, I'll see that. Like, I'll just see that truck has a dim tail light and he's a red truck, and that was a blue car. I don't know if it was synced with it. This is a 66 military license plate. This is a B2993. This is a red car at the other side after the blue, and it has a 29. This car just drove out when I walked by it. It looks synced. This squirrel just jumped up on this tree next to me. Right directly next to me. Like a stock ninja. This truck, there's a red truck way down the street that drove out synced. But yeah, this squirrel just like ran up and like jumped up off of the ground and like jumped up onto the tree like sideways, like right next to me. I did a running jump up onto the tree, like behind the tree next to me. It's pretty. Someone just opened that door, synced. They just came out of the door right at the curb, and I hear the banging. Whatever, they're throwing something in a dumpster, whatever they're doing. The one that came out of the door. I hear this dog barking. I think it's synced. I don't know. Is it? I'll probably find out. I saw someone walk out right as I heard his door close. What about these cats? This was driving out in front of me right when that happened. The door is opening on the car right when it turns. I hear a truck beeping right when that car turns, and then right when he stops turning, the car door is closing behind me. He's starting the car right when I turn around to look at him. Oh. This is Saint. I hear banging sounds. I hear your truck beeping again, and this car is turning in front of me. One that was synced. I think it's that one. A different one, maybe. I don't know. I hear these sounds right now. It's like, shh. Was it sync? You hear it? Is it a garbage truck? What is it? Is it gonna sink? It's a garbage truck. You hear the sink? What's the sink? Is it sink? That's a sink. Is it a sink? I think that white SUV just parked, didn't it? Pretty sure it did. do it next to me. Is it sink? She started walking right next to me. Was it sink? Is it gonna sink? You see that whitey way in the distance. I'm like, is he gonna sink? He didn't do anything though. I saw another whitey right when I stepped up on the sidewalk in front of me. Garbage truck's taking off again. Is it sink? What's the sink? It took off synced. Maybe it's not turning synced. I don't know. Maybe a stalker was driving in front of me at the same time or something. I don't know. Was it sync turn? It's definitely a sync stalker truck. This green car looks synced right now at the alley. At the alley. She looks synced at the alley. She was like talking before I walked up to the alley and it sounded synced. The green car is turning in front of me. I see sync. I see the sync. I see sync coming. It's turning around in the parking lot right now. I think that's a sheriff truck over there. I see the sinks coming, they're synced. I see the armor truck. There's the whitey started to drive. Armor truck was in front of me. The green car met that car and it synced and it synced. Sync. The word of the day is sync. The word of every day is sync. I don't know if that one was synced, but that one is synced. That's right there, the alley. Is this one synced? These look synced. Are they synced? I saw another car behind that car when it drove in front of me on the street behind it. Like in the crack between that van and that white box thing, whatever that is. Like in that little crack, I saw a car drive by back there as the one car drove in front of me. At the exact same time. This whitey just turned right when I walked up. There's a green car. Is it synced again? Is it gonna sync? Someone walking out. Are they synced? Don't sync. Stepping off the sidewalk right here like it's synced. Don't sync. Like these. I think it's starting. She just started her car right when those drove by me. Sink. It's backing up. It's gonna back up next to me. It's gonna back up. It's gonna be sink. What's gonna sink? All of them. These look sink. Those look sink. Oh, I think that's the blue car that got unsynced. I think that's that blue car. Is this gonna sink? That is a blue 886. I see a red truck turning way down the street. It looks sink. I see the whiteys. They look sink. I see a bunch of cars over there that look sink. I see a red hat. It looks kind of sink. Was it sink? I think it was kind of sink. He wasn't right at the street though. So I don't know. This is right there after I get across the street, so he's probably sink, Probably sink, like this dog in the window car right now. I hear a loud car coming up behind me. Is it a semi right now? Woo. And there's a truck at the same time as it. Sink. Sink. There's the green car. It's at the door. Sink. There's a different green car. Or the same green car. I don't know. Oh, there's the green car. It's right behind the other green car. And they're like the same color green car. Like the same exact color green. This white car's coming out and the car door is closed at the same time, and it was synced. Sync. FedEx guy just made a sound at the same time, sync. FedEx guy, sync. Semi sync. The tail lift is sync. This truck is always sync. The dog is sync. This truck is always sync. Woo! Sync. Here comes the tail lift. Sync. It's gonna sync. It's always sync. The tail lift's gonna sync. It's always sync. Here it comes. It's gonna sync. Sync. It's always a sync. Sync. What's coming up the street? It's a sync. It's always a sync. Sync. Where's all the sidewalk people today? Are they gonna sink when they show up? Someone just walked out of the door. Was it sink? It's like right when I say that. I don't know. Was it a sink? These cars are both backing up at the same time as each other. That looks sink. I heard a car door close over there, I think. Something like that. Some type of sound that sounded synced. It's gonna be some type of sync at some sync point. And then somebody's gonna sync point. Literally, they're gonna point synced. And they're gonna sync point at a sync point. Oh. Because they just love the point synced. They just point. They're like, what's that over there? They're like, I think that's a tan truck, and that's a tan car behind it, and then there's this behind it. These are always synced. And then he's gonna meet a white SUV at the intersection or something, or another tan car, or a pig, or there's a white car parking, and there's someone walking up over here at the same time, getting out of the car or whatever he's doing. That parked at the same time. There he is. Is he gonna get out of the car when the guy walks in front of me? They're saying see ya as they close the door on the white car. Was it synced? Look at this guy. Is he a sync head? Are they synced already? What's the Hummer truck gonna do next? Is it gonna sync? I hear a car honking as these cars are about to sync. Like over there somewhere, and a car honked. He's like, honk, honk. She gonna sink? Don't sink. Don't sink. I hear a car door closing as this tan car is right in front of me. And this guy came up with the bike at the same time, I think. And I think he's going in the door. She walks in front of me, but it's on the other side of his car, though. And don't sink. Don't sink. She's going in the door of the building right as she went in the car. Sink. Honk. What car was that? It's over there that honked. It sink. She's got a red shirt. Is it gonna sink? Is it the one that honked? Who honked? Who honked? Was it synced? There's a truck driving by right now. Is it synced? These birds, the birds before I was recording were going crazy. They were synced up. Like as I walked up the sidewalk, I hear a siren. As I walked up the sidewalk, there's all these birds flying around me synced up. And like flying like right in front of me. Like landing on the sidewalk in front of me and on the street and stuff. And they just kept like flying around in front of me synced up, and then other birds would come in and fly synced up with the other birds, and then sync, and then it would sync. Just like over and over again. I kept seeing birds synced up as I walked up the sidewalk this morning. Is it synced up? Is it synced? Car door just closed. Is it the white? Is it the white car door? Is it synced up? I think it has a 223 on it. Are these birds synced? Probably. Is this car synced? Is it synced with this car too? Are they synced? Is it synced? Is it a sync? Sync? Is it a sync? Is it a sync? Is it a sync? Is it a sync? There's a car door closed right here. It says one light. It's one light whitey. And I saw a dim light. I saw a dim light box truck right before I started the video. I hear a car starting right now. I see the sink. He's turning right at the center of the street. This car's pulling up and turning right now. He probably syncs with red cars all the time. He's hitting his brakes right here. I saw a white SUV over there. I think he was a sync head. I don't know. I don't know, man. This is too many sync heads. He's being in the distance, in the foreground. I hear a sound right now. It sounds synced. I think it's a nail gun or something. It sounded synced, whatever it was. Truck honking. Was it this truck maybe? He's meeting a silver car at the intersection. He's meeting two silver cars at the intersection. He's meeting two silver cars at the intersection, and then it's driving by at the harbor bar. See. This is driving by right here, and they love to drive by at that thing over by at the other intersection up the street. So, and I think he had an 84 license plate, and he was white, so I think he was synced. That was synced. This looks synced. It has an 84 license plate. It's pulling up right now. It looks synced. I just parked right there, I think. Looks synced. It's coming up. Looks synced. 84 synced. Red, synced. White, red, synced. Blue behind the red, synced. Sync. That's the red, sync. Red sync with the white with the red truck. Sync. I see the armored truck again. Is he sync? This has a 299. It was sync. It's an armored truck gonna sync. He's driving off. Is it sync? This car right here is a sync. It's a green car. Is a sync. He's meeting the armored truck and a garbage truck. Or not a garbage truck, some other type of truck. There's a green car meeting the green car and these two red cars. Sync. There's a tan car, sync. There's a blue and a red car, and there's engine sound behind me. And I think it is one of the cars that synced over here. Like the green car or whatever car it is. And there's a military license plate, and there's another red car, and there's a blue car, and they're synced, and it's a sync, and it's a synced. And it's synced. It's a synced.